how I'm going to get that to stand up. Oops. Hey, good morning. I don't know how I'm going to make it stand up. Are you out there, Billy? I'm actually shooting this for my friend, one of my dearest friends in the world, Billy Carlen. Hey, Billy, he's subscribed here, so if you're on, say hi, Billy. So this is especially for him. He's the son of Tinker Cullen, who was one of Buddy's best friends, Buddy Holly's best friends in Lubbock, Texas. So he's legendary. You have to forgive my voice this morning. I'm starting to feel a little bit niggly in the throat, and my partner's actually very ill right now. He's very sick at home. So I'm going over there. So I expect I'm going to come down with it. But yeah, so I'm not even sure if I'm starting to come down with something now. I just feel, yeah, like I have a frog in my throat. So it's winter time here, obviously. Hello. I don't know if I recognize. Oh, but Bolivia. Hello in Bolivia. Yeah, I can't say I would have known that flag. I think it is. Oh, I need my my atlas. Is South America, I think, or You think Bolivia? Could be way off. You're in South America, or I'm not really sure actually. My voice is like not there this morning. So my friend Billy Carlen, who I've known for a decade or more, friend requested me on Facebook this morning, and he's going through all my old pictures, which he knows. And actually, I think there is a picture of Buddy with Tinker in one of these books. Let me think. It could be the one, this one here was written by Budgie Holly's brother, and it's signed personally to me. I don't know how I did it. It's possibly in there. I just painted my nails, so they're a little bit wet at the moment. And I'm really pissed because I feel like I've got to get that, what is it, Sesh Restore, because I just bought this new nail varnish, and, oh, you don't, nobody cares, but like, yeah, it's really, I don't like the formula, so I'm really upset about that. Anyway, but they're wet, so I don't want to go in my books, but yeah, I promised Billy, he's just subscribed to my channel, so he will enjoy this. My Budgie collection, signed here by Jerry Ellison, Budgie Holly's drummer. Hello from Italy. Buongiorno. Ciao, ciao. Subscribe, see videos from Italy. Yeah, I'm Italian through my father. About, oh, let me think, 5 generations back. She was a duchess, Portia, the Duchess Portia. So yeah, I'm Sicilian through my father, and I have 3 Italian children. So yeah, my parents-in-law were from Capodistria. My mother-in-law was from Capodistria, and my father-in-law was from Trieste. And so I, yeah, but I'm Italian through my own lineage as well. Hello. This patch is very old. It's, it's vintage now. This was given to me by my Canadian ex in Montreal. And he's in Montreal, of course. And he gave it to me about almost 10 years ago. And he has an Eddie Cochran one as well, I believe. I think he possibly has 3. It's quite rare, and his parents did a tour of Israel and the UK and Europe as well, I think, in 1983. And so when they were in England or Europe, they bought this patch, so it's from his personal collection. And he actually sent it to me before I went to Montreal. I've been to Montreal 3 times, so this was from his personal collection. I don't want to cover up Jerry's face there. Anyway, sew that on my jacket. I have a winter dance party jacket. I don't know if I'd be game enough to sort of sew it on my jacket. So I've had that almost 10 years now. I don't want to cover up Jerry and Joe. Jerry and Joe B. Where did I have it? This is shot in England. This one here was drawn. It's actually a drawing. It was done in England. So that's an actual drawing, which I think is a very good one. The artist is incredible. It is fantastic. I love this so much. I just love it. Some people are so talented. I have an artist friend in Austin, Texas. I believe it's Austin. Mike Neslany. Yeah, my friend Mike Neslany is he's an incredible artist, and I've done a call about 10 years ago. He's been a Facebook friend for many years. Yeah, I believe he is in Austin, and this wasn't done by him. This was in England, obviously, this one. But he's, yeah, he's an incredible artist. This one's here very rare. They're not a set, though I've put them together. My Canadian ex in Montreal, he bought, let me think, he bought both of them for me. I have this one as a set, and I have the entire set, but I took there's Richie Valens, and I think the Bopper and Elvis, or, yeah, so, but I've put them together. He bought it from a dealer in Los Angeles for me, and it came with it, this paper here, because this one here is German. My mother's born in Germany, so I don't know if that's why he did it, but yeah, anyway, so it's that I have the entire collection that he bought from the dealer in LA, but I just like to keep them together because this is both Buddy, obviously. This one I keep in my collection. It is not, I mean, it is Buddy Holly related, and it's not. I mean, this is from the World Trade Center in New York. So I went there with my Canadian partner from Montreal to New York. And this is actually from the World Trade Center, which has been in this dish since I was in New York in 2016. So where the memorial is this ivy growing along the floor, the ground, and yeah, so I knelt down and I picked up some ivy. I mean, that's where the bodies were falling on September 11. There was bodies falling all around there. And I was 23 years old at the time. I was married. I had two little boys at the time. And so just before the 15th anniversary, I was in New York, and we went to the World Trade Center Memorial and also One World Trade Center, and we sort of toured the Oculus, which was beautiful. It was all done by a Spanish architect. The entire thing's all like white marble, but this is literally taken from the ground of in between the memorials, beside the memorials, the ivy, which I keep in this little maple leaf porcelain dish. It is French. And I keep it in there. It's been in there since I returned from New York. I've danced on this floor. Yeah. This is the original flooring from the Surf Ballroom, Clear Lake, Iowa, US. And that is what it looks like underneath. So, and it smells old. Oh my God. Oh, you know, you open this little clip and it smells like an old grandmother's wardrobe. Yeah, you can just smell the age of it. Buddy Holly has breathed on this floor. He's breathed over this floor, and I've danced on it. So the Surf Ballroom did a little bit of a restoration job on the surf, and was sort of limited edition sort of thing. I don't know how many pieces they had, but yeah, so that is the original Surf Ballroom, which I attended the winter dance party in February 2016. So that is it. It's got a few battle scars. And it was on this floor. I was standing on this floor. I'm the last person in the world to shake hands with Jerry Ellison, Buddy's drummer. And he's signed this one here. They're all signed by Jerry Ellison. who was married to Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue Garron. I only knew her for a little time. It was just sort of like hello, you know, a couple of lines. Like she knew who I was, and she was lovely. I've heard from friends about her. You know, she was really lovely, and I read extracts from the book before I went to US my first trip, but then about 3 summers ago I read the entire book cover to cover, and even when I read the extracts I knew she was telling the truth. I would believe Peggy Sue Garron's version over Maria Lena Holly any day of the week. Let me tell you. Yeah, so I treasure this book because this book actually changed my life. It literally took me off a path. It was this book in the spring of 2014. This book altered my destiny. Whatever happened to Peggy Sue? It's a great read. I never get sick of it. There was only one sort of part in the book where I wasn't sure about, where she claims that Buddy Holly stopped the elevator at the Brevoort in New York. And when I was at the Brevoort in New York, I was literally, there was 2 elevators to go up to apartment 4H, and I'm in the elevator and I'm thinking, did that actually happen? Was this actually where it happened? That's the only thing. But in saying that, after reading the book 3 summers ago, I have to say I believe it. I believe it's true, and that's my personal views, my personal feeling about it. That she possibly would have married Buddy Holly. And I'm meaning, like, when he was killed, the time he was killed, they found Peggy Sue Got Married, the song. So it's not that far-fetched. I think there was more to it. I definitely think there was more to it. And of course, my Peggy Sue car. Which was given to me by my friend Chris Knight. A few months ago, we, after his concert, he invited us to go to a cafe, and Peter and I went and met him, and he gifted me this beautiful Peggy Sue Chevy Bel Air 1957, which I love so much. This is my Empire State Building, which I got at the Empire State Building in New York. I don't think I've ever shown this. I don't think I ever have shown it. There it is there. I've never showed this. So I paid $30, I guess, US for it, made exclusively for the Empire State Building. And we're on the 80th floor of the Empire State Building, and we had to really hurry up because we were going back to Montreal, and we woke up that morning in the suite, and I said it's now or never. Obviously, I live in Australia. New York is on the opposite side of the world, and I didn't know next time I'm going to be on that side of the world. I have been back to that side of the world, but back to Montreal in Canada, not New York, so I have been back there since. But yeah, so this was one of the things that I locked up, and I bought some mini ones as well, and a t-shirt, and and a fridge magnet, some bits and bobs, touristy things. But yeah, I thought that's really nice. It looks sort of like a birch wood. And just to see that building in true life, it's extraordinary. Extraordinary building. Remember the first moment I clapped eyes on it, traveling into New York. It was incredible. So that lives up high up there. Let's put that up there. This here is signed by Jerry Ellison, Budgie's drummer. Oops. This one's also signed by Jerry Ellison. So I went to Budgie Holly's high school in Lubbock, Texas, and I arrived in the afternoon. I just had lunch with Buddy's niece, Sherry Holly, a good friend of mine. We had lunch at Dickie's on Slide Road in Lubbock, Texas, and then we went and hanged out at her work for a while. And she introduced me to her colleagues, and then so I was just spending time with her at her work, which was fun. It was fun just getting in her car. Like, I'm being driven around by Budgie Holly's niece. That was sort of a little bit fun thing to do after lunch. And so yeah, we're hanging out with her work at her work and meeting her colleagues. And it was very classy there and very swanky. And after a few hours, I just it was really tough leaving her because you know, like I didn't know if we'd ever meet again. And I hope to be in Lubbock, Texas again, but it was very actually difficult to part with her. Yeah, I'm getting a bit emotional. There was a moment when we had lunch together, and she was actually talking about her husband, and she got emotional, and she actually couldn't go on. She couldn't keep talking, and that was it's always stuck with me actually to hear her talk about her husband like that. It's just always. Yeah, she was so happy, but it quite broke her up, and I thought it was so lovely. But anyway, so yeah, so I had like a bond with her, and you know, I'd already had mosaics, which I'd already commissioned. I've had 2 made. So by the time I was in Lubbock, she'd already made these for me. I have numbers 4 and 5. And when I arrived at Dickie's on Slide Road in Lubbock, Texas, I got there first, and she actually was going to take me to the IHOP, and I said, "What is an IHOP?" I didn't know what an IHOP is, and she said, "How would you like to have lunch where Budgie Holly's parents used to go and eat, her grandparents?" And I said, "Sure." And then, of course, at the last minute, she changed her mind and she said, no, I want you to try real Texan food, real Texas barbecue food. So we went there, and when we arrived, she was all excited to show me an artwork. She was telling me about that her father, which was Budgie Holly's brother, actually, it was from a photograph that he loved, and he wanted her to do the mosaic of it. And but it wasn't quite finished, and she didn't want to show it to me because it wasn't finished, but she was so excited to tell me about it. And I felt special that she wanted to show it to me because it was actually a personal request of her father, Budgie Holly's brother. So yeah, that was a little bit special. Yeah, so, but I love these mosaics. I dusted it recently, so Look at that stance. Just like the statue. Just like the statue. So this one here is signed by Budgie Holly's brother to me. Also, that is signed by Budgie's brother to me. This one, I'm in the book. I contributed to my friend Bill Stoll. Hello, Bill, if you're watching. My Finnish friend Bill, he's in California. He spent 40 years, this is his life's work. And he really only did it for family, but he wanted us to contribute to the book. So I think I've got 6 pages in there, whatever. So it's special to me. Of a coin. This is signed to me by Tommy Elsip, but he's backup guitarist on the final 59 Winter Dance Party. He was very sweet to me. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on. Let me see. Oops, there goes my Amelia Earhart. It's so fiddly, that playing. It's Tommy 1999. Signed to me. The Surf Forum in Clear Lake, Iowa, USA. Personally signed to me. He signed a few pieces for me as well. Also, he signed this one for me as well. The Budgie Holly Songbook. So this features the guitar work of Tommy Elsip, Budgie Holly's guitarist on the final Winter Dance Party, that fateful, tragic Winter Dance Party. He's also signed this to me there. Oops, there goes my Amelia Earhart playing again. He was a legend. Legendary. He's such a nice guy too. This one here is signed to me. Oh, sorry, this one isn't signed to me. It's a bit of a joke. By Sonny West. He wrote Oh Boy and Ray Vaughan. Yeah, this one's signed to somebody called Frankie, and I said to Sonny, he busted laughing. I said, if you do not sign to me, I will change my name to Frankie. So he just busted laughing, but yeah, so I think he knew it was near the end. I still miss him. Sonny West. This one here was a gift to me from my Canadian ex, because it has my name on it. Victoria Palace in England. My friend's been to one of these shows like 15 times. Which is very cool. This is vintage from 1989, I believe. Let me put it in here. Be very careful. That's my Winter Dance Party tags, which is actually signed by Terry Cole, who was Eddie Cochran's best friend, who signed it to me. It's a little bit of a funny story to this one. Put some of my vintage tags on there. Some of these I bought at the surf. These ones I bought at the Surf Ballroom, although I wasn't there for the 50th, I was there for the 57th anniversary. And these ones I bought at the Budgie Holly Center in Lubbock, Texas, on the same trip. But yeah, I wasn't at the 2009, I was at the 2016, it was the 57th anniversary. This one here, I believe, I've got to remember which ones I bought. Some of them I bought, and some was given to me by, I feel like this one was a gift from my Canadian ex in Montreal. I can't remember. Actually can't remember. I've got to think now. It's sort of a combination of both. Some I purchased from Canada, I think, separate to my Canadian ex. He has gifted me some vintage pieces. I've been there. That's the Paramount Theatre in New York on 42nd Street and Broadway. The Paramount Theatre is now the Hard Rock Cafe in New York. I've got a picture of me there. I pulled my partner up on stage. Everybody was having dinner, and the security are like, "You can't be up here," trying to confiscate my camera. Like, don't touch it. I'm like, "You don't understand. Budgie Holly performed on this stage." I've been to the International Jazz Festival in Montreal, which is the largest jazz festival in the world, and I've been there. I didn't get this from here. I purchased that separate because I've been there, but yeah, so that was fun. That was sort of cool. It's definitely not like big band, like really jazz or something like that. Just some James Dean and Marilyn Monroe and little pins. That one's a little bit tough. February 59. Oops. Oopsie. What we seen? I love this photo. Shot in at Jack in Clovis, New Mexico. They were all so young there. Just in my thoughts and my feelings about the transition that they all made, how they changed. Not so much the music, but just in their whole look on stage, you know. Buddy Holly was a visionary. Oh my gosh, I'm in this book. I'm in this book too. I'm in this book. And this one here, Bandstand Diaries. I'm in this book. I don't know how I wind up in these things. We shot a very historic picture at the Surf Ballroom. I just literally come off the crash site, trekking the crash site. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can find it. I can't remember if I've actually done, I don't know if I've ever shown it before. That's a very good question. Let's see. Oh, Amelia. Let's put you up there. Don't break. Oh my gosh. There's me there, standing next to Barbara Dwyer. Her husband owned the plane that Buddy crashed in. Um, there's Jerry Allison there. So, yeah, I've still got my snow boots on because I just trekked, it was -40, and I just trekked the Budgie Holly Crush site in Cerro Gordo County on Gull Avenue. And I'm still wearing my snowsuit. I had like 6 layers on here. So we came back from the crush site, and the surf, as far as I know, bought in a vintage bus to be signed by some of the legends, and I was on board that bus when with Jerry Lee Lewis's son, because so I took some photos of Jerry Lee Lewis's son, Jason D. Williams, and Bob Hale. Where's Bob Hale? There's Bob there. Bob Hale. He whispered to me. He's like, he carries a piece of paper in his wallet to prove that he's the son of Jerry Lee Lewis. So and he's just on his knees to Jason D. Williams. So, so let's see. My ex Jimmy's back there somewhere. It's Jerry Allison. So I am in a picture with Jerry Allison. Jimmy's, he's got his hat on. I think that's Jimmy there next to Jerry Allison. And yeah, so we walked in to do this this shot, and they were standing on the chairs with the cameras to take the picture. And we walked in from signing the bus. I just happened to be on board with Bob Hale and Jason D. Williams, Jerry Lee Lewis's son. And we walked in the ballroom, and Bob Hale had his arm around me. And I spotted my ex, Jimmy McCool, and his ex-girlfriend. And I wanted to be as far away as possible on the other side of the ballroom. So I kept going. So Bob and I stood over here. And at the last minute, just before they shot the picture, my friends, they're twins. Where are they? They're in Ohio. Well, the twins are here. I think they're on the other side of Bob Hale. But the twins at the last minute said, "Hey, Bob, get it behind the banner." And I stayed. Because so we've sort of walked in, his arms around me. I've spotted Jimmy and his ex, and I've walked to the other side of the ballroom to be as far away as possible. And so the twins have gone, "Hey, Bob, come and get behind the banner." But yeah, instead of going behind the banner, I stayed basically. No one would guess to see this historic photo that Jimmy and I were actually together that night. So yeah, you wouldn't think it to look at the picture because we're standing at opposite sides of the ballroom, but that's actually what happened. Oh, there's the twins there. So we all got behind the glasses and took the picture, and my ex Jimmy McCool owns this picture here. It was shot by Mary Gerber. Who I understand, I think she did sneak the camera. I think there was no cameras allowed, and she snuck the camera in to take these images. I've got the entire set, which were given to me by him. They're not public domain, but I have them with his watermarks on them on my computer, actually. That's the last image of Budgie Holly alive, and he was killed within 90 minutes of that being shot. Waylon Jennings there, Tommy Alsop there. Yeah, so there's me there. My sister's like, "What, Mama?" My sister's like, "I can't tell it's you." When I got my snow boots, which are very distinctive, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's you." they recognize my snow boots, which one day I have to show my snow boots. So yeah. I think this is wrong. I tell you why this is wrong. That's not wrong. We shot this. We didn't shoot it on February 2nd. And I know this because I actually arrived in Clear Lake on February 3rd. So this is this is an error in the book. This is an error. I should write to the writers. This is definitely an error. I can say for damn sure because I arrived in Clear Lake, Iowa on the anniversary, on the 57th anniversary, February 3rd. So we definitely did not shoot this on February 2nd. I spent about 8 days in Clear Lake. And I've got my bus ticket somewhere in my collection. So that's definitely not right. That's definitely an error. I can say for damn sure. Because I was still in Minneapolis. I was still in Minnesota on the 2nd. There was a snowstorm and the I-35 interstate was blocked. So I wasn't even in Clear Lake on the 2nd, and that's me there. So yeah, and I didn't tour the crash site for some days, but it's on my bus. So that's an error. I should write to the writers, but well, maybe in the next edition they can correct that. So yeah. Yeah, so don't ask me how I wound up in that. Destiny. I think it's just destiny. There's a reason for it. And bought this off my friend Ryan Vandergriff, who at that time was in Lubbock. I don't think he's there anymore. I've seen worse than that. I guess, yeah, so I've trekked all of here. The fence line has changed over, you know, at that time it was 57 years, but I mean, I was there on a whiteout. The snow was just beyond all belief. But Gull Avenues would be out there. So, and I actually fell into the snow. You know. My ex Jimmy McCool a few years ago told me that he actually, yeah, he got a hold of the ambulance driver that took the bodies of Budgie Holly. And I'm like, interview him, Jimmy. You need to interview him, get him on reel. You know, they're pretty ancient now. And I said, damn it, get that interview. But I actually fell into the snow. You know, my snow experience was new, but the bus pulled up. I guess that could be Gull Avenue there. And one woman who was in front of me on the bus, she actually stopped and turned back. She went to get off the bus and said, oh, I didn't have the right shoes or something. I'm like, Get out of my way, sister. I'm like, I've just got 3 jets from Australia, including one of the longest haul flights in the world. You know, it's 18 hours on board. I risked my life getting to Iowa. I risked my life, and I never talk about it, but if, if people knew what I went through just to get there, it's not just the long ass flight. I was 18 hours on board, Sydney to Dallas, Texas. You know, of course, then, you know, I missed flights because I was late out of Sydney, flew north to Minneapolis. Like, I check out in the morning, and she's like, oh, nothing doing down at the Greyhound. She's like, the I-35's interstate is blocked. Nobody's going to Iowa today. I'm like, hold the phone. Back the hell up. I have flown 3 jets from Australia, including 18 hours on board, an A380. I'm like, oh, sorry, what? You know, like, and because the snowstorm was coming, if I didn't leave, you know, that day, there was a chance that I'd miss the entire winter dance party. I mean, my snowsuits costed $5,000 just for my snowsuits, and, you know, and then of course my entire trip. So it was a very expensive trip, and so yeah, I almost didn't get there. And everyone's down in. So I just was hanging out in Minneapolis. Minneapolis was the first place that I got to sort of experience US, which was really fun. It was quite exciting, actually. You know, learning to walk in snow, and the temperatures were like forest crazy. It was very extreme temperatures. But the snow was so deep when I was there. It was the memorials were buried in snow, and I actually got down on my tummy, and I was scooping the snow away from the memorial so the fans could get their pictures. And my ex, James McCool, he actually commissioned Roger Peterson's wings at the crash site. I met a photographer out there on the crash site. So it's 57 years after this. And yeah, he goes out there every single anniversary. Every year he just goes out there and he shoots pictures. He's a local photographer to Clear Lake. And he said to me, we were out pretty much where these guys are. We were just, you know what, we probably were standing about here. I feel like, because I was on my tummy, I scooped the snow away from the memorial so that the fans could get their pictures. And then, yeah, he was sort of a little bit out this way. And so I was talking to him, and he said he's never seen it that bad. That's the worst he's ever seen it. I think he said he'd been going out there 8 or 9 years at that point, and he'd never seen it as worse. I mean, the snow was like up here. It was like beyond all belief. So yeah, I won't forget that. I won't forget him. It was such a big tragedy. And Sherry told me at lunch, she said, you know, she said her grandmother never got over the death of Budgie, her son. She never recovered from it. And it put her into a deep depression for the rest of her life. I don't know anyone who could recover from something like that. It's so graphic and tragic and so sad. He's going to be a huge star, and Buddy's Lovick High, his class ring. Buddy on stage at the London Palladium, March 58. He'd only just performed here, just done Florida. And then, yeah, he'd only just been here in my hometown. So it's very special that I've been to his hometown, Lubbock, Texas, and he's been to my hometown. Actually, just performed a step from here. It's literally like 5 minutes down the road. Terry. This Buddy Holly on his wedding day. February 1558. Sorry, February. August 1558. I think, oh my gosh. Now, I know Travis and Larry apart, but back then they looked a little different. I think that's Larry. That's Travis. Sorry. No, that looks like, that's Larry, that's Travis. Yeah, that's Larry Holly, that's Travis. This is Pat's husband. That's Buddy's brother-in-law. There's Maria Lena Holly with the banana peel on her head. I think it looks like a banana peel anyway. Literally looks like a banana peel. There's an error in this book because this was Hawaii. This is not Australia, this is Hawaii. I've been there. So this was shot on top of the Paramount Theatre in New York, which I've been on stage. They're like pulling me off stage. I didn't care. Check Neil. I love listening to him on the DVD I have. He's great to listen to. They used to borrow recorders for, like, wire recorders for Buddy to record on when he was 13 or 14. My two-timing woman. My sister's sending me stuff at the same time it's popping up on my screen. I still haven't got back to her from 2 days ago. She messaged me, it's popping up on my screen. And my sister. I love this. I love this picture. It's a gorgeous picture of him. It's his guitar. Larry Holly, Buddy's brother, loved this picture. And Sherry uses it in her artwork as well. I think it's actually one of her personal favorites as well. There's Tommy. One of my favorites. This was the recording of Oh Boy. Bill Sound Studios. Sunny West's Oh Boy. They use that one a lot for some copyrights and so forth. Betty with Norman Petty. It's Joby and Jerry. Buddy. This is when they arrived in England. The Valentine girls. What is it? Wardour Street, London. They just arrived from Florida, February 28, 58. It was a press conference they held there. I love this shot. I especially love this. I love the shots in England. Thinking. There is a very grainy, crackly sort of jam session that was done on the Florida tour. They're saying this is in Australia. Could be in Melbourne. Or was it Florida? I'll have to investigate. And I do own 5 pictures from from the Florida tour. My voice is... My partner's just messaging me. I think I'll end this here. I have to go in to see him. Just go and pick up some things. Jerry Lee Lewis. But the time Jerry Lee Lewis and Buddy Holly had performed at the Big Girl Record Stars tour in Florida, that had already performed here in Australia. Could be Australia, as it says. It would be Melbourne. They stayed at the Bellevue Hotel, which has been knocked down as well. It wasn't just Cloudland. But this is from Florida. These are original. I own 5 from the set. It's Jerry Lee Lewis. These are 67 years old now. The royal teams walking on stage in Florida. You can see the stadium lights. I love this picture especially. I just love the look of it, like the age of it. You can see the stadium lights here. It was an evening performance at Connie Stadium, West Palm Beach, Florida. I think this is, what's his name? Billy Crandall, I think. Billy Crandall. I don't know if I have that right. I think it's Billy Crandall. I have to actually look it up. This is actually one of my favorite pictures in the entire collection. It's so worn and vintage, and paper. If you look very carefully, this was going to be the start of an entirely new picture, and we like to think that that was actually Buddy Holly. Can you see? If you look very carefully, can see it was going to be another picture. And we'll never know what that is. We hope it's Buddy. But we'll never know. What else? I'm going to end this video here because my partner's just popped up in messages. He's really not well, and yeah, when I go and I feel a little bit croaky with my voice, so it's possible I'm going to come down with it too, but I don't care. Yeah, so I'm going to end this video here. Hopefully Billy will pick this up if he hasn't already. So yeah, I've shot this for Billy Carlen in Las Vegas, Nevada, who I've known for many years. He's the son of legendary Tinker Carlen, who was Buddy Holly's best friend in Lubbock when they were children. So yeah, and he's done a song called Victoria about 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm like, where's my song? I want my song, damn it. Yeah, so I have to find out what's going on with my song. And I actually was getting views as well. And he was doing it with another sort of musician, producer guy or something. And nobody knew who it was about though. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to end this video here. Have a good day, everyone. Hey, hey.